Hi, beautiful. So you want to change your life and you're wondering, how do I go about it? How do I make it happen? How do I change into the life that I want to live? And one of the biggest components of it that we don't talk enough about is faith. Yep. Yep. Let's dive into it. But before that, I do that. Another component that I usually use to somehow, choose the right pathway forward in my life is remote viewing, and I'm hosting a remote viewing workshop. I'm inviting you to it. It's in the description box below this video, and I'm more than happy to see you there. You'll find an informational page and everything pretty much that is written there, or you can email and ask me whatever that you would like to ask about it. Okay, so faith, and how does that factor in with making your life come about? Of course, we believe in faith. We know about faith. We know that faith has to do with taking steps before things have manifested, taking steps in the direction of where you want to go before they have come together, before they have come about. But what we're not really talking about is the courage that it takes. And that sometimes faith is a little bit more than that. It's not just taking steps, it's letting go at the same time. And letting go, taking a step at the same time, and having nothing waiting. So usually we have a vision of what we're stepping into. We have a vision of what's coming next. And in some way, that vision is a form of control. It's a measuring piece for us to hold on to crutch onto, at least mentally. And we know this is what we want. This is where we're headed. If we take 2 steps in this direction, we'll end up here. If we take 2 steps in that direction, we'll end up there. Faith is stepping out and not knowing if you're going to be caught, where you're going to end up, and what's going to happen, not knowing if you're going to fly. And that can be daunting when you want to change your life, or you have the feeling, I need to change my life right now. My life as it is, it's not getting me anywhere. I'm not feeling like I'm doing anything with my life. I'm not feeling like I'm really moving forward, or I'm really unfolding. I'm becoming the person that I could become. There's so many aspects of myself and my being that I'm still not living, that is unlived and unseen and unheard. So in a way, I'm not letting myself grow. So how do we step into faith? How do we really work with faith? And how does that work out for us? Is there a guarantee? And of course, when it comes to faith, there is no guarantee. So I really learned about faith when I was in California at the time. I was living in California, Arizona, going back and forth. And I had a vision of me walking along the beach. Now, you know that when you walk along the beach and you're standing right at the water's edge, your feet sink into the sand when the water comes in. The waves come in, your feet sink into the sand, and it just feels really gooey sand, just really nice. And in this vision that I had, my feet weren't sinking into the sand, and the waves were washing sand away from around my feet rather than piling sand on top of my feet. So I was left standing on 2 small sand pedestals. And then I had a feminine goddess kind of rose up out of the water in front of me in my vision. And I'd seen her numerous times before. I do work with a feminine entity as well. So some of that's a different video. So this energy rose up out of the water, and she gave me a heads up pretty much that from now on I'd have to walk on faith. And I thought, of course, that's how I got here. This is what I'm doing here. This is walking on faith is nothing for me. And okay, sure. I had no idea what that truly meant, but I learned, because the next few years were amongst the most interesting, let's put it that way, of my life. I learned a lot, and and things happened, and I was able to do certain things. But it was a complete walk in faith where I didn't know where my foot would land next. I didn't know what would catch me or how things would work out. I didn't know how things would come about. I just basically threw myself in the wind and learned how to fly. And that can be super, super, super daunting, especially if you're tied into a lot of structures around you, such as family, friends, loved ones, colleagues, people at large that want to define you. They want to define you and your role in their lives. And They want to limit you with what you can do or what you're capable of doing because they feel this limitation for themselves. So it can be difficult to just walk out on faith. And this is one of the hardest reasons to, for example, leave situations that you know you should leave, because you don't know what your next step is going to be. You don't know what's going to catch you or how you're going to fall or that you're going to make it on your own. You don't know that yet until you're actually in the situation. So he told me that these things were going to happen to me that did happen, and that I would be walking on faith after that. And that's when I learned that that scene in Star Wars is really real. That scene where Luke Skywalker had to walk out on faith into the nothingness, the emptiness, not knowing how something is going to come about to get him to be able to fight his father, Darth Vader. And to feel the force or to feel life, nothing can prepare you for that. And there are tons of videos and books and all of this on courage and having your heart and getting into your heart and all these things. But honestly, what I want to give you is the feeling that you can do it. What I want you to leave with at the end of this video is knowing that you're not the only one, that other people have gone through this, that other people have done it, that other people have stepped out in faith. Whatever it may be for you, it may be walking away from a situation, it may be opening up your own business, it may be going to the community college or your university and signing up for that course, even though you feel like, oh wow, I could be these people's grandparent. Maybe it's applying for that job. Maybe it's sticking through and digging your heels in when it comes to your career and your job and your work. And whatever it shows up for you, flying out on faith and just spreading your wings and not knowing where you're going to land or how things are going to come together for you or how it's going to all work out if everything goes south, you are going to make it. You are going to fly. Okay. You just have to really take, and I know this sounds tacky and there's no book for it. There's nothing that anyone can tell you or do. It's literally you jump into the pool and learn how to swim, or you don't. And then you won't know how to swim. So it's something that you literally have to do. So if you're hesitating, you're on the verge, you're hesitating to take that step. And you're hesitating because deep inside of yourself, there's this feeling that the universe is not on my side. Life is not on my side. Life is not there to support me. Life has always punished me for things that went wrong, that for decisions that I meant wrong. Know that that's something that you're taking out of your relationships with your parents, with your teachers, possibly with other family members or friends, and you're projecting it onto life because life doesn't do that. Life wants you to have experiences. Life is about having experiences. And so the more open you are to having the experiences that come your way in your life, the more life is actually supportive of you. And that's why you see people that can take these crazy risks, that can take these crazy jumps in life. And you'll find that they somehow it all works out for them. Somehow it all comes together for them. Somehow the right situation pops up, opportunity pops up, person pops up, thing pops up that helps them in their next step. Of course, for some people, it's very unsettling. It's living with uncertainty, and but you're not always living in uncertainty just because you're taking a risk. It's just this one risk, and then everything is certain again until you take the next risk. So don't be afraid to take risks in your life. And I'm not speaking of the calculated risks either. I'm speaking of those risks where you literally have no crutch on the material side of things, because everything on this side of things is material in the eyes of spirit. So your visions, your ideas, your concepts, your dreams, your imagery, all of it is material. So you crutching on the material vision or visualization of the goal that you're trying to reach is a material thing. So you learning to not crutch on anything, really have no imagery, no idea how things are going to come together, what it's going to look like is important. For example, I was in the last place I lived in, the last country I lived in. I knew that my time there was coming to an end. I felt it, everyone else around me felt it. And it was coming to an end, not because of anything to do with the country per se, but just the learning cycle there, or the shedding cycle there, or whatever my soul was doing there, it now needed to come to an end. And everyone could feel the energy, but I had no idea what was going to come next. I had no idea. And that has been my life since the female goddess showed me that vision. It has been huge leaps where I've had no idea how things were going to happen, manifest, come together. Now, of course, I used manifestation techniques, and I did do that to make this all happen and come about, of course. I also used remote viewing to determine which trajectory would be the right one for me, which is why I'm inviting you to this remote viewing course, and more than happy, sign up. Link is in the description box below. But I did do that. And I did have a gut feeling, intuition, of course, played also a part. And there were friends that I was able to lean on a little, and that helped absolutely. But the biggest thing was having faith in the unseen, in the unknown. I didn't know what was going to manifest or how it would manifest. I had no idea. None. None. And for some, that sounds absolutely, but it was something that had to happen in my life. It was something that was meant to be. And that's the thing, is that when things are meant to be, and when you have faith that you're on the right track, you have faith that you're in alignment with who you're supposed to be, with doing what you're supposed to be doing. When you have faith in the universe, that the universe is there for you and is on your side and is beneficial to you, benevolent to you, sees you in a benevolent light, then you can have faith and, in a sense, let go. Faith has a lot to do with letting go, has to do with letting go of control, has to do with letting go of excessive planning, overthinking, all of these things. It has to do with just taking each moment as it comes. So if you're trying to change your life and things are not happening, or they're not rolling forward, ask yourself, where am I blocking my faith? Where am I not living in faith? Where am I not taking steps in faith? And again, taking steps into the unknown. You have no clue what's going to come after the next step. You're just following a breadcrumb trail, and you're not thinking things through all the way to the bitter end. You're just taking one step at a time, 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 one step at a time. And ask yourself, how are you blocking yourself from doing that? What is it that you need to know? What is it that you need to, in a sense, control life with? What image are you hoping to manifest? If you can release that image and allow life to manifest for you what is best for you, you might be completely surprised at the end result, because it might be more than what you could ever think of for your own self. It could be more than what you could ever dreamed of. And it could be exactly that which you need, exactly what it is that you need, your soul, your inner self, your being, your core being. So I know that you're going to make it. I know that you're going to be the hero in your own story, and that you're going to take this step in the darkness, take this step into unknowing, and that you're not going to crutch on anything, any idea, concept, vision, fear, anxiety, worry, hope, doubt, anything like that. You're just going to close your eyes and take a step. And once you do that, the whole grid around you rearranges. Once you do that, the whole grid rearranges, and all of a sudden, the portal opens. Because when you take that step, you're stepping into a portal. That's the magical portal. The magical portal is the combination of you letting go, taking a step in a direction, and just falling into the universe and feeling that the universe is looking out for me. You'll see that it's the hardest thing to explain to people. It's it goes beyond the faith that we usually define faith as. And that on the one hand, it feels risky, but on the other hand, you start to realize that there's no risk involved in that, none whatsoever. There's more risk involved in going against your actual being and going against the flow of your own life. So I hope that gave you some courage. I really do. And for you to take that step, because once you take that step, then you work on everything else. You use your manifesting, your prayers, your all of that to get you through. But the foundation, the root has to be faith in all your works. You guys, thank you so much for listening. I'm wishing you all the very best. You got this. I know you do. Write in the comments below how faith has gotten you through some really serious, crazy situations. I'm sure you have stories. Let us all know, because through that, you're lighting someone else's candle too. Take care. Bye.